Yo, what up, Facebook? What up, IG? And what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zah back at you real quick. But this one right here is probably gonna cause a lot of controversy due to the simple fact that I'm gonna give it to a few cats that fail to realize certain things. Now, on my last post, I was just pointing out the simple fact of, Latino rappers and or Hispanic, Chicano, whatever people want to consider themselves, on how they go at it over frivolous things, and how it's got to the point so they're ready to kill each other over basic nonsense. And some are only doing it in order to seek a certain level of clout, to put themselves in a position to where they assume that they're gonna win, so they choose to do it that way, just like everybody else has did it, that have really been, on that street stuff. You know what I mean? And this is not to downplay anybody's street credibility. It's just people seek that type of attention because they feel that it'll get them far. Now, this message is going out to a few particular cats that jumped on my page talking about, I don't know, some along the lines of me speaking on black people, which I am black. It don't matter about this flag or not. But most of the blacks that's in that country came from the West Indies. So as far as me needing to validate that, or even to justify the reason why I chose to speak on certain things, I feel like it's not only irrelevant, but I just don't have to, because men do what men do, and I'll say what I feel, and regardless of who like it. But that's me. Now, the whole notion of black power, like, I've really sat and I've thought about that so many times, and and people try to align that with black excellency or something. You know what I mean? They try to align those two, and somehow they're supposed to go together. But I'm here to derail that. Not even necessarily derail it, but I'm here to just blow that smooth out the water, because there really is no such thing as black power anymore. That is, to me, is basically a myth. It's ideals that certain people hang on to in hopes of hanging on to old ways, but that no longer applies to this this time. You know what I mean? It's that maybe back in the days it was more of a solidarity thing. People felt more more willing to be just about their race, and that's it, in the coming up of their race and helping people get to the next level. But as far as black power right now, you could say black pride, because there is a lot of blacks that are happy to be black, and you see it in their everyday life, whether it be them being, keeping their family all black, as far as like the woman that they're with, or just embracing certain aspects of black culture, which we've been robbed of a lot of different things. But it wasn't necessarily due to somebody else taking it from us. It's because we were sent here by people that look just like us. And whether people want to accept it or not and try to downplay it, if you look at the Congolese, they were selling their people for spices. The king of Congo, they sold his son to Portuguese for spices. You see what I'm saying? For spices. How do you sell a person for spices? But people like to come on here and try to criticize what they consider to be black. These are the same individuals that will blow their people away for something as small as a little Turkish chain or a pager. Or maybe you see somebody, it's like half of these scavengers that talk this mess. If you seen a person on the street of your own color with $100 bills in their hand and not paying attention, you're going to snatch it. Why? Because it's just something in you to be a scavenger. Now, this is no shot at blacks because I'm black. But for the individuals that try to come on here and be super pro-black as if that means absolutely anything in this point in time and day, I'm here to burst your bubble. To you, it means something. And maybe those who share the same sort of intellect. But as far as like being really relevant, it's not. Because not only do a lot of blacks don't want to be black, you know what I mean? And not only do a lot of blacks have issues with other blacks due to the fact of two different ways of thinking. You got the ones that want to get educated, go to college, you know what I mean, make something of themselves, whether they're becoming cops, politicians, or just a pillar of their community. And then you got the other ones that are scavengers that want to tear them down constantly. That's the ongoing sentiment in black neighborhoods. Excel, but don't never get too high, because if you do, I'ma snatch you the fuck down. That is a sentiment. That is the ongoing sentiment of black communities. You can say that it's not true, but if you look at statistics on murders, there's more blacks killing blacks than anything. But people will complain. They'll see that Chester fool that had that sex charge that got shot by the cop and paralyzed. I don't care what you want to do with that. I don't care if people try to downplay the simple fact that he, oh, he's black, but that they should have never shot him. But all that sex charges, that's real shit. Like I don't get it. But it's nothing for, that's something that we're plagued with too. A lot of black families like to downplay the fact that their family may have some type of rape or some type of chest, or it was just a statutory rape, or it was just this. He made a mistake. No, he didn't. And this is not to be all over the place. It's just to put these people that feel the need to come on here and preach this black power bull, that it's not all what it's cracked up to be. And that's plain and simple fact. You can't go into a neighborhood and change absolutely nothing. Why? Because people are not trying to hear your message of black only. Black only in their neighborhood, as far as like who they kick it with and associate, might be that state of mind. But for you to come into the community and be like, oh yeah, we should all be black love. Black love is black love, but black power is a whole different thing. You are not pushing that type of line, because if you did, a lot of things wouldn't be taking place. Just look at Farrakhan. Look at Master Farrakhan. Look at his teachings. Look at the way he gets down. Let somebody try to do a crime where he's at. It ain't happening. The Muslims shut it down. That is black excellency. You know what I'm saying? That right there is something that's real power. So for the cats that come on here and they're like, oh yeah, black power this, black power that, miss me with that. I'm not trying to hear that. Don't want to hear it. To me, it means absolutely nothing. I got black love. I got love for other blacks. Not just because they're black. It's just there's something about them that we vibe. Not every black person that I meet, we're going to get along just because they're black. Miss me with that. But it's like this video wasn't even to be negative. It's just, for some of you cats, I really don't think, I really don't understand what your thinking pattern is, because you make everything about race. And if I talk about something that has to do with race as far as blacks, you feel as if I don't have the right to talk about it. But that's always been the ongoing sentiment of most blacks. Plain and simple fact. If you see a black that has an education, or maybe he speaks without using slang or has no ebonics in the way he talks, there's something wrong with him. He's not black. Why do you think most of the light-skinned community are either trying too hard or they don't want to deal with other blacks? Because the first thing to do is stereotype, point fingers. Oh yeah, you mixed, you this. Like it. So when you come on my channel and you try to tell me and dictate what I do and what I say about the black community, and it's not even to do with the black community, it's something to do with a rapper that's out there in the news doing what he does, and he gets shot. People get shot because they put out certain type of, negativity in the world, and it comes back. God is a real thing, whether people want to admit it or not. Regardless of what domination you choose. Whether you want to be an atheist, something, universal karma, whatever, it happens. So if I report on it and I don't get into detail, it's because I'm merely giving my point of view, but I'm not gonna do the cop's job. But for you to come on the channel and this is not, and don't get me wrong, this is not one of those videos I feel like I need to vindicate myself or justify why I say certain things. I'm just here to tell you, as far as black power, to me, that means absolutely nothing. I don't have to mess with you just because you're black. You know what I'm saying? The same way I don't have to mess with another southerner because he's a southerner. You pick and choose who you deal with. Not everything black is perfect. And I know some people like to, go off that, like, we were kings, and that's true. We were kings. Now, pawns. Pawns, criminals, thugs, and the ones that ain't doing that get more. It's funny, the people that are not thugs and out there just really like with the gang stuff, they get persecuted more than us. because we be the first one to point fingers at them because they're not black enough or they're not hood enough, or you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the type of stuff I talk about. This is not a rant. This is just, I don't need to speak parables or metaphors in order for you to get the fact that I'm trying to tell you that you have absolutely no right to tell another person whether they can speak on a certain race, especially if they're the same race, regardless of this flag or not. My skin color is black. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to hide that. I don't care. It didn't stop me in prison. It ain't stop me on the street. Some people may mentally see that as a hindrance to me. I see it as just what it is. It's not going to stop me from representing my life the way I choose to live my life. It's not going to stop me from taking care of my family. And it's not going to stop me from maneuvering in these streets. Don't be so hooked on race and pointing out people's flaws when it comes to race. Because at the end of the day, our race by itself has so many flaws that sometimes I don't even think that we'll ever get by that, because there's always a scavenger in the mix that want to take what you got. Regardless of your race, they just want to take what you got because they figure that you shouldn't have it. And that's and if you think I'm wrong, do a survey on it. These fools that be going in the malls doing all these little funny things, let them go out on the street and really talk to individuals that are black and get their sentiment and get their thoughts on what black power means to them. I can guarantee you it ain't gonna be what you say. Now, I spoke on to Nasir Tariq, whatever his name is. I spoke on him because he said something about Hispanics. He shouldn't open his mouth, plain and simple. It ain't about whether he spoke against Chicanos, Mexicanos, whatever. He's calling people Mexicans. Just keep your mouth shut if you ain't got nothing good to say. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to be out there in the trenches. I'm out here every day, dog. People say what they want. You see me on the street. I see cats pull over and say what's up. Some don't, but they recognize who I am. I'm me, regardless. I got family that are Damus. I got family that are Kiwis. I got family that are homies. It don't change nothing. It's just we chose different routes. So it's not, this ain't got nothing to do with Bloods or Chris. This is people that try to come on here and preach black power to me and say I have absolutely no right to speak about black issues. When it's in the news, somebody gets shot, it's no longer a black issue. We're not talking, this is not BLM and all that other crap. You know what I'm saying? For some of you that think that they give about you, they don't. Learn to do your research and learn to really think forward. You know what I mean? Because the way a lot of you think, you're thinking backwards. You still worried about slavery and all this other stuff. Like, I'm moving forward. I'm gonna get my money the way I get it, and you know, if it go bad for me in the end, it's because I chose to be me, regardless. So, with that being said, man, I got another video, but this is just to address the whole black power thing. Like, it just,